So I was out on a shoot today and getting some footage of a property, and this happened. I don't know how you can see it, but I think it's one of the obstacle avoidance sensors on the Mavic Air 2 crashed into a tree, and this entire plastic bit just totally snapped off. So that's no bueno. I'll be sending in for a replacement here. But on my way home from that shoot, I was pondering what I was going to do for this week's video. And I had a few ideas in mind in terms of how to do something or the theory behind some sort of color or whatever. But this drone crash really got me thinking about failure. And although this drone crash wasn't a massive failure, in fact, it didn't even affect the shoot, it was the very last shot of the day, I couldn't get the idea of failure out of my head. Still, it made me think about how failure is essential for growth in every aspect of our lives, from our business to our relationships to school. Failure in all shapes and sizes is the catalyst to growth. So back in early September, I had a all-day shoot with a very valued client of mine that started pretty early in the morning. And this is my first semester in college, so I'm kind of getting into the swing of things where going to bed late, waking up early, and I just hadn't really planned appropriately for this shoot. So the night before, as I do before all of my shoots, set out all the batteries, get them ready to charge. So I go to bed, I have my alarm set for 5 or 6 in the morning, I believe. At the time, I had actually broken my iPhone charger, so I was running a Lightning from my MacBook, which was also charging, and then running that into my phone. Thing was, it did not charge. I had ended the day on about 1% battery and expected it to charge through the night. It did not, and it died in my sleep. So by some magical force of nature, about 15 minutes before I was supposed to be at the location for the first part of shooting for that day, I woke up. Note that it is about an hour and 15-minute drive from my dorm to this location, so I was already going to be late. I get out of bed, I look at my phone, and it's dead, obviously. I go to check my camera batteries, and they're all good to go. So I start to freak out naturally, kind of not knowing what to do. I pack up all my stuff, sprint out to my car, and load up all my gear. Thing is, I have no idea how to get to this place. Most of these shoots take place, as I said, like an hour 15 away from my house, and I'm not really familiar with the area that I was going to. So naturally, again, it's early morning, I'm not thinking right. I go to pull up my phone and pull up maps on how to get there, and it's dead. I proceeded to have probably one of the worst waves of anxiety I felt in my life, but luckily my beautiful man of a roommate, Alec, came to the rescue, and I realized I could plug in an iPhone charger cord into my V-mount battery for my camera, so it held me at 2% for navigation all the way to the shoot. The morning of the shoot started out all right. I was still in a bit of a fluster, and this client was totally understanding, albeit a bit, I can assume he's probably a bit annoyed at the whole situation. But it started out fine, and then this happened.
Oh, okay?
It's like, hey, car.
Holy cow.
And it's good.
That's incredible. Worst case scenario became the best case scenario.
Wow. Yeah, so I fell off a bike trying to film with my entire camera rig, and none of it touched the ground. So, first weird thing of the day. The rest of the day went on great, and I made a handful of really great new connections that have led me to farther work. Additionally, this video in its entirety went on to bring me another recurring client month to month. So what's the point of this story? Failure is really easy to wallow in. I hotly debated while I was sitting in my car crying and pounding on the steering wheel to call the whole day off and just reschedule to another day. When you push past the wall of failure, there are so many incredible things waiting for you on the other side. If it weren't for this particular shoot, this particular video, I very likely wouldn't be where I'm at today in any capacity. One of the worst mornings of my life, where I felt hopeless and anxious, turned into one of the best days. I've had gimbals mess up mid-take, I've had drones crash, I've had memory cards corrupt, But all these things have pushed me to become better at my craft, to market myself more, to grow my business. And so if you're trying to get into the industry yourself, you will encounter plenty of failure along your road. And I know I have plenty more along my road as well. But instead of thinking of these things as screw-ups, think of them as defining moments that if you take one path, you'll reach success at the end of it, or one path where you might not. If you embrace every single failure as an opportunity for success, I am sure that you'll turn out just fine. So I hope to any of you watching that you're able to get some value out of this, whether it's in your filmmaking career or just in life in general if you're not in filmmaking. But in that case, you're either my family, friends, or people in my hometown, so also thank you. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, don't be afraid to drop them. Drop them here, or you can reach out to me at Jack Linderman, Jack.Linderman on my Instagram. Thanks for watching.